What are the bare minimums for dating? I've seen some women saying that men don't even do the bare minimum, but what are those? I'm asking the bare minimums for dating in general, not just for women. Showing up. Manners. Mostly. Being friendly and polite. Actually listening. Asking questions. Giving proper answers and being interested in what the person they're dating has to say. Respectful and pleasant behavior. The amount of people, men and women, who treat their dates like they're not even there is shockingly high. Constantly on the phone. What were you saying with a confused look? Asking a question but not listening to the answer. Treating a date like a job interview they have to get out of the way. Expecting the other party to wow them. My actual bare minimums to date are: 1. They like me and I like them. 2. They are willing to put in a similar amount of effort to me as I am to them. Trouble is, this is probably different from person to person. Expectations can be unrealistic to those who have not experienced it already. Keep that in mind. Effort and intention. Like 90% of the time they're complaining about a guy they were already interested in and agreed to go on at least one date with. They aren't complaining there's some invisible unwashed mass of men who don't shower. They're complaining a dude they thought was cute who could hold down a conversation with them to their liking may not shower every day. Bare minimums in dating is a lot like bullet holes on a World War II aircraft. The ones you see get the complaints are the ones making it out and coming back. The guys who get shot down right away aren't the subject of these complaints. Showering. Dressing decent for the occasion. Being on time. Being honest about your intentions. Being faithful. I can't believe how many men and women say they're a good partner. They're loyal. That's such a nothing to say. Anyone should be loyal in a relationship, and if that's your main reason to stay with someone, there are plenty of people who will make you happier and still be loyal. Every person has their own definition of it. It's a subjective thing. Be clean, some basic grooming, some basic style, be able to have a two-way conversation. Actually giving a damn about you. The number one requirement most men outright ignore. Being interesting and being interested, caring for and improving the well-being of your partner. Show up, stay off your phone talk. Not being a shitty human. For me, don't be fat and don't be crazy. That greatly depends on the country you are from. Sexy enough to hold their interest or fit into their non-romantic pairing scheme. Effort. I remember when women cared enough to make one. I know that some men still do. Someone's bare minimum is their own bare minimum. It's as subjective as it gets. Not asking for consent is a huge one. Not washing their dicks, ass or body in general. Not caring if she gets off or even enjoys sex. Lacking basic tact and manners. Whatever gets you a second date. Man, if the girl is into you, she's not gonna care. I'm super shy and was crushing on a girl for so long. My game plan was if I could get her to come to my house for a first date, I can get comfortable being around her for future dates. So our first date I messed up pasta. So we had Taco Bell at my place and watched a movie on my living room floor. If that's not bare minimum. Don't date women who says that kinda shit or bragging about useless men or SMTH like that at all are the ones who you need to pretend being better than you usually are to be with. Even if date goes well, the only thing you'll win is a new person in your life to fuck your brain. Or blame you for her unhappiness, boredom. Being together must be better for both than being alone. If you're unhappy, there's no sense in continuation. If she complains from the start, don't start. Attraction. Show up, clean up. Here's the proper order: clean up, show up. I think the bare minimum is keeping some sort of regular contact, not texting back and forth all day every day, but at least a check-in here and there between dates. If you say you're gonna do something, do it. If you say you'll come over at 4, you'll be there at 4, and if you are late, call and give a good explanation. Being somewhat attentive. Everyone is different, but if she has to guess if you like her, then there's an issue. Be a good-ish human, pretend to be interested. Be honest and truthful to your date and yourself. Period. Everyone's bare minimum is different. And I guarantee many women saying such a silly statement have unrealistic expectations. When women say bare minimum, they mean the bare minimum for the small number of guys who fits their physical criteria of attractiveness. Empathy mobile formatting can do 1, JFC. Breathing optional. Not asking questions. Don't put all the effort on me. This should be 50-50. What people say they want, and who they'll actually go for, are often not the same. Men and women will say their standards are low, looks don't matter, etc. But on some level it does. But they don't want to seem shallow, so they won't mention it. Men and women both do this. It's human nature. A nip slip. My minimum requirements for dating a woman were: 1. Be female. 2. Don't be obese. 3. Be willing to date me. Just someone who doesn't want to start shit and wants actually be around. Like no shit attitude. That's it. 18 and probably someone you're at least interested in fucking. Showing up. Following through on the things you say. Scheduling some of the dates. Reaching out to talk every few days. General communication and conflict resolution skills. Emotional maturity and emotional availability. Respect. Basic hygiene and cleanliness. Being able to have their own income and do their own chores. Basically be a functional adult and put effort into growing a reciprocal relationship. Instead of looking for a woman to serve you. You would be very surprised at how some people live. Women don't want the bare minimum, but they call it that so they don't look bad. Just ask one what's the bare minimum and you'll be shocked. Don't be obese and actually fucking show up. Simple. Going on a date. Show up. I've had a 6-month convo with some woman on Tinder who asks me questions about cooking once a week. Shouldn't this be on Ask Women? Feels odd to ask men what women's bare minimums are. Ask them. I've sworn off dating and sex in general. But I'd say the bare minimum is being with someone who you like and are attracted to. I guess. Don't settle. If you prefer tall guys, don't go out with a not tall guy. That kind of thing. She's attractive, feminine, soft, agreeable, easygoing, and not a single mom. My bare minimum for them don't FCK anyone else. Their bare minimum for me to be 6 feet or taller. Make $100,000 year. 6-pack abs. 6 inches. And pay for everything. Being able to communicate, respectfully and with manners, is the bare minimum for me. I've dated a guy once who kept quiet about everything. Even if there was kind of a problem or misunderstanding to resolve. I've never had to deal with such a stressful person before. It was over quickly enough for me. Lesson learned. If someone doesn't know how to communicate like adult people should be able to, then they're simply wrong for me. No exceptions. All of it is actually just presence and building affection. In the modern world, you're unlikely to get someone where Eros won't build. Some portion of the problem is that humans do actually have instincts still that want the man to be dominant.